I was born in a small town where mostly everyone knew each other, and everyone kind of did the same things. It was a nice town, and I was happy growing up there with my family. But one day when I was 10, the night before school was to begin again, things got even happier. My parents presented me with a beautiful little puppy they had rescued from the local shelter. I remember when she first looked up at me with her big glistening eyes, as if to say, "Thank you. I want to be part of your family." I named her Karma, and we quickly became the best of friends. We made her a little bed where she slept each night at the foot of my bed. Every morning I gave Karma a bowl of fresh water. Then I took her outside for a walk before saying goodbye and heading off to the school bus. And each afternoon when I returned home from school, Karma would be waiting for me on her leash in the backyard near her doghouse my father had made for her. No matter how quietly I tiptoed down that driveway, she always knew I was there, and she greeted me with her tail rigorously wagging. I would then take her inside and feed her. This ritual would continue until the weather got colder, and then Karma would stay inside mostly. I took taking care of Karma very seriously, and I could see she was just as serious about taking care of me. And her personality, her attitudes towards people and things could not have been clearer. She was just as aware of her life as I was of mine, and she was happy to be alive. Over the winter and into early spring, Karma continued to grow into a lovely young dog. Everyone who saw her immediately said, "What a beautiful dog! Her coat is so incredible!" And it was true. Karma's fur was lustrous and beautiful in its colors and shadings and markings. As the weather became warm again, Karma went back outside on the leash next to her doghouse in the backyard during the day, where she would patiently await me to surprise her each day after school. Summer vacation was approaching now, and I was looking forward to this for so many reasons. One of the biggest reasons was that we would be able to take Karma on camping trips. She loved going for walks, running through trees, sniffing and exploring, watching the birds with rapt attention. Only one more month of school, and I couldn't wait. Just 2 weeks before the end of school, I got off the bus and I tiptoed down the driveway to try and surprise Karma just as I had been doing for months. I still knew it was pointless. I could never fool her. She was just such a smart dog, but it was fun to try. I peeked around the side of the house slowly. But something was wrong. Karma was not there. Where was she? The empty leash was not broken, so she hadn't gotten loose. I looked in the doghouse just to make sure, but she was not there. The car was in the driveway, so I knew my mother had not taken her anywhere. Karma must be in the house for some reason. I quickly entered the back door, expecting to hear Karma's feet tick-a-tickering across the kitchen floor to greet me. But that didn't happen. "Karma!" I called, but she did not appear. Suddenly, my mother came into the kitchen and asked why I had not brought Karma in. That is when I became really concerned. I rushed out of the house, and I spent the next hour or so looking around the neighborhood and calling, "Karma! Karma!" Where could she have gone? Maybe she didn't know the way home. Maybe she was hungry and scared. Maybe she was even hurt. I had to help her. Later, my mother drove me to some more distant neighborhoods, and we stopped and asked anyone we could if they had seen any dog who looked like Karma. No one had. When my father got home, we called the local dog pound and the shelter where Karma was rescued from. None of them had any information on her. Then my father drove us around to stores and shopping areas. Again, nothing. Finally, it got dark, and the words I had been dreading to hear were spoken. "You better get some sleep now. Don't worry. We'll keep looking for Karma tomorrow." I quietly went into my room, and I looked down at Karma's bed near mine. My grief and anxiety were numbing. I ran to the front door one more time and looked out into the frosty night, calling, "Karma! Karma! Karma!" The next day passed, and then the next, and then the next. Finally, a new week began. Karma did not show up. I put up signs anywhere I can think of, asking anyone who knew anything to please call us. But no calls came. There was nothing but silence. Until the day before the start of summer vacation, a news story blared out of the TV. Local woman arrested for stealing dogs and using their fur to make coats. My stomach tightened. I wanted to believe this was not what happened to Karma. Something this awful could never happen. Yet I looked around at the people in my own town. Most of them had dogs or cats in their families, and they all said how much they loved their dogs and cats. And most expressed their anger and disgust that this woman killed dogs and sold coats made from their furs. Some even said they would kill this woman if they could. And the strangest thing was that most of these people had coats or hats made from the fur and skin of other animals, including dogs like coyotes and foxes. The more I thought about it, the less it made sense. How were they any different than this woman who was arrested for killing dogs and selling coats made from their fur? We did not go camping that summer. A few days before the next school year was to start, an investigator contacted us, and he showed me a photo of a coat that was confiscated from the woman's house. The markings on the fur were unmistakable. My devastation was complete. I'm not sure if I can ever forgive myself for not protecting Karma. She was loved, just as loved as any other member of my family, and I know she loved us. How many countless other animals are brutally and senselessly murdered each day? Animals who have just as much feeling and awareness as Karma did, as I do and my family does. And no one gives them a thought, let alone cares about their lives. Sometimes I'm almost envious of those who don't seem to care about the lives and feelings of others. How much easier it would be not to. But each time I quickly realize it's much better to be compassionate than sociopathic, no matter how lonely it may be.